Well, Boyd the Broker podcast, we're back at Smackfest, and this is humbling. Janne Kouri's with me, and I've had the honor of having a relationship with Janne and NextStep Fitness. It must be very unusual to be back at a beach volleyball event. If you don't know Janne's story, it was maybe 20 years ago, 18 years ago, at the end of a six-man volleyball tournament. You just dove back into the ocean and broke your vertebrae. Is that the story? Is there anything you want to tell me that's incorrect about that?
No, it's just a freak accident in 2006. Was playing in six-man, went for a run to get cool off of the ocean, dove in a wave in a sandbar and broke my C5-6 vertebrae and was instantly paralyzed, and obviously changed my life dramatically.
And the main thing about it was what you exposed was a lack of therapy for you to come back.
Yeah, I spent a year in the hospital, and going through the healthcare system, I learned a lot about the challenge that people with disabilities and paralysis face. And the one main problem that I learned specifically is that once your insurance drops you, which is on average after 30 days, there's no access to care for the rest of your life. Without access to care, it's just a terrible situation to be in, and you can succumb to so many secondary complications that could kill you. So with NextStep, that's the problem we're trying to solve.
And that's what you did, right? So you went to Kentucky, right? You were there for a year. You wanted to come back to California, and you exposed the fact that there isn't any of this therapy in California. So what did you do?
So we worked very closely with Dr. Susan Harkema, Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, and we took what they offered at the best hospital-based rehab center, took it out of the hospital, and put it into a community-based setting to make sure that anybody with any form of paralysis has access to the best rehab, health, and wellness for their entire life. So our goal has always been to continue to open these community-based centers throughout the U.S. and abroad to make sure that everybody has access to the best rehab and healthcare.
And that's exactly what you've done, right? You've opened other centers, not just here in California, but outside of California.
We have 7 in the United States. We just opened Nashville. We have 2 in Ukraine, about to open our 3rd in Ukraine, and then we have 2 in New Zealand. They're needed everywhere in the world.
I read a sobering fact about 6 million, or is it 8 million people in the U.S. are affected by a physical disability. Is that the right number?
Well, 6 million people are affected with paralysis. So that's spinal cord injury, stroke, traumatic brain injury, Parkinson's, MS, CP. So there are a lot of people, in the country that are dire for this type of rehab.
And your rehab focuses on all of those mentioned, the strokes, the Parkinson's, and different things. What's so unique about the therapy that you sought out, used, and then brought back here to NextStep?
Well, the unique thing was that I was very, very fortunate to work with the most preeminent rehab specialist scientist in the world, Dr. Susan Harkema, who worked with Christopher Reeve when he got hurt. She worked with him at UCLA. She worked with Dr. Reggie Edgerton, and they created the most specialized therapy for people with spinal cord injury. And so we took all of that knowledge and took it out of the clinic in the hospital and put it into a community setting. And I was just grateful that I was so fortunate to meet her and learn about this amazing therapy when I got hurt.
And that therapy has a specific name, right? What's it called?
So, overall, it's called activity-based therapy. The one specific thing that I got to work with right off the bat was called locomotor therapy. But since then, there's been many other things that have come from that research and learning.
So the one thing I've learned from hanging out with you, Janne, is, when we have an injury, a traumatic brain injury, any sort of major health event, it's a detour. The paths in our lives change. You were always an entrepreneur. before this happened. You were obviously a beach goer playing in the beach volleyball tournament. What was going on at that time before you had the injury in your entrepreneurial life that you ended up resuming after? Tell us that story, because I find it just inspirational to the absolute max.
So I'll just say after college, I started a mobile gaming company in Finland with my cousins. We ended up selling that company, and then I moved to California, started working for another Finnish company in the digital entertainment business. That's where I was when I broke my neck. But during that time, I also had the idea to bring our national beverage, our national drink from Finland to the United States. And me and my cousins had written a business plan. And literally, as we're getting close to launching, I broke my neck. But now, 16 years after that happened, we finally launched a company and launched it here down in Hermosa Beach. So,
And that company has a tent right down down the beach here. And tell us what it is.
it's called Loncero. It's a gin-based canned cocktail company. So we've got grapefruit, passion fruit, tangerine. But the one amazing thing for me personally is obviously it brings me back close to home. But with every sip, we give back to NextStep. So it's kind of full circle. So it's been amazing. So with every sip, you're supporting people with paralysis.
The one thing I get from that is that even though we have a traumatic injury or have to go through therapy, in life you can resume a path, you can resume a career, and Janne's the shining example of that. And I wish nothing but success for Loncero. I don't drink, so I haven't tried it, but everybody that drinks around me says it's awesome. And again, I'm honored just to be be a friend of yours and be a supporter of NextStep. And I really appreciate you coming by Smackfest and the Avoid the Broker podcast.
No, you're the man, and I'm grateful for our new friendship, your support, everything that you're doing, and your positive attitude is a true motivation for me personally. So thank you.
That's good stuff. Thanks, Janne. I'm Boyd the Broker. I appreciate you tuning into my podcast. I live in the real world. Where do you live?